Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
All right. So Louise and I are going to demo an agentic AI automation that is designed to handle sales dispute resolutions. So when salespeople get paid, sometimes something went wrong. They didn't get the right paycheck, and they think that they should have been paid differently, maybe for a deal that was close to the deadline. So what will happen a lot of times is that users will spend a lot of time gathering information to handle this manually. So they'll have to go find all of the sales records, aggregate them, sometimes look at 1, 2, or 3 month periods worth of sales records, because sometimes bonuses roll over and commissions change depending on what month you're in. So it takes people hours to do this specific job, but what we're going to show you is that with a agentic AI and RPA working together, this can actually be handled in under a few minutes. So what we're showing you right now is this is the Maestro canvas. This is where you bring RPA and agentic AI together to work together. So what's going to happen here is when we start this, you can see in the flow, it goes to it gets the dispute email. This is where we're extracting the email address, the subject, the body of the email, and then we're passing that along. We verify that those inputs are coming, and then we pass that along to the center that's highlighted in the middle, which is the dispute resolution agent. That's the agentic AI that we have configured to handle this specific case. So yeah, let's switch over to the agentic agent. So here is the agentic agent. So the first thing that you do in creating an agent is you give it a system prompt. So the system prompt is basically the guardrails for this agent. It lets the agent know how it's going to operate, what it should expect for inputs, what are the expected outputs, what kind of tools does it have at its disposal to use. You see those defined there at the bottom. And then if we scroll down a little bit more, then we also have context defined here in the system prompt. And this is where the agent is going to look at how these people are supposed to be paid. If you would, let's pull that document up real quick. So this is the document that we're talking about. So this document outlines how all these salespeople get paid, the different percentages. It has all of the information in here to calculate someone's pay. And the agentic AI agent is able to use this as context to figure this out. So down here a little bit lower, this is where we start doing a step-by-step of the process. We're letting the agent know how it should resolve this problem. It's called a chain of thought prompt engineering. And so it just describes for the agent how you fix this problem, how you remedy it, what tools are at your disposal, why you should use them, what kind of data you should expect from them, all of those sorts of details. So let's come down a little bit further. And then we're also defining the communication outcome. So what should you do once you've come to a decision? And then there's some constraints and boundaries. So down below this, we have the user prompt. This is where we're telling the agent the task at hand. So we're providing it the email body. We're giving it the user the user's email address, and then the subject of that email, and then we're asking it to how to use some of these tools as well, so that just to make sure that it uses the proper tools. So down here below this, the user prompt, we have the actual tools that we've configured. So the first one there is a HubSpot integration. That tool is used to actually go and fetch all of the sales records needed for this agent to figure out if someone got paid right. So it's got all of the data details there. And that was usually the longest part of this process for the human, is because those could be hundreds of records, maybe even thousands of records, and somebody would have to get all those records and aggregate them and just sort of figure out what happened. So we're also giving this agent a couple other tools. One is where we send the dispute resolution email. So once we've figured out whether they got paid correctly or not, the agent can send that email back to the requester. And then the final one is where it gets the email, gets the dispute resolution email that came from the sender. So context, that was the document that we just showed you. This is this describes how these salespeople get paid, and that document is stored in a storage bucket in Orchestrator. It doesn't change much, so that's why we keep it in a storage bucket. If it was content that changed frequently, we would probably store that offline somewhere and have it reference a document somewhere else. So That's how it's going to, that's the document that is going to use to figure out if this person was paid correctly or not. And then finally, we have escalations at the bottom. And this is where we've already told the agent that if like this goes beyond $5,000 or some other criteria, that you're to escalate this to a human. Or if it can't positively figure out whether or not a mistake was made, then this is where we get humans in the loop and get them to help the agent. Okay. So Louise, yeah, let's go ahead and run this and we'll talk through what's going on here.
All right.
All right, so the agent is now running, and you can see an execution of the run while the agent's running. And so that's what we're going to be looking at now. Yeah, it may just take a second to clear out the previous run. Okay, so now the agent is starting. All right. Okay, so we can see it starts off with an LLM call. It's trying to figure out what it's going to do, and it's using the first tool. So net right now is going to Gmail, checking to see if there are any emails that need to be processed. And it's going to pick up on the unread email that we had sitting in that box. So it looks like it's got the email, and there's sort of the message there that it was displayed for us. It processed that email, and so now it's making some other LLM calls. Now it's calling the HubSpot integration tool. So it's determined that there is a problem. Someone did submit a dispute resolution, and it's going and fetching all of the sales records in order to determine if there was to aggregate those records according to what was in that sales document to find out if there was actually an issue. So it looks like it has completed that. And now it's going to escalate this to a human. So we've specifically coded it to do that for demo purposes. So so now what we can do is we can go to Action Center and look at the dispute resolution that it raised to the human. So there is our new Action Center task. So this is an app that we created so that the users can help when the agent can't handle the task. So there's the descriptions, there's the email address. The agent has given its thoughts on what should happen here. We're going to reject this one, and we've got a canned response that we're going to go ahead and paste in, and we're going to go ahead and hit send. So this is what the user would do now. Instead of aggregating all those records, it just makes it so the only thing they have to do is respond to the dispute. So now that we've done that, the agent is going to complete this process. It's going to take that resolution that the user provided, and it's going to call the tool to send that email back to the user. So it looks like it's completed successfully. You can see from the output there. And if we go to our inbox, we'll see that there's probably a new email in here. There it is from the commission dispute resolution there at the top. And there is the response that was provided by the human. Now that we did that in order to showcase the human in the loop here, but in cases where the agent could handle this process end to end, which would be most cases, the agent wouldn't even need to use the human in the loop if it was able to identify all the problems successfully and resolve the issue. So I hope that you all enjoyed this demo on Agentic AI. This is just one use case that we're developing here at Landshore, and hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louise.